Alright guys, so the first film in the MCU Phase 4 has dropped, and it is Black Widow. First things up that I want to talk about. This movie was pushed back a lot of times. It was supposed to come out last year, and it was pushed back over and over and over again. And that is usually a bad sign. For me though, I still enjoy the film. Especially, I view this film as a film that filled in the gaps between the films for the MCU. I'm going to talk about the timeline first. This movie takes place after the events of Civil War. So you must remember that. Black Widow is on the hunt. Government deployed Taskmaster to hunt her. So that's basically the main plot of the film. But towards the middle of the film kind of adds some subplot to it. Black Widow goes undercover to investigate this kind of organization of agents, of assassins. With that, the film adds the third aspect of the story, and that is the family aspect. The family aspect is kind of pointless because the movie is too busy with the other two subplots, and then they add another subplot to make the movie more compelling, and it felt rushed. Let's talk about the film. The film, as I said before, is Taskmaster. So, Taskmaster in the comics is one of the most dangerous villains for the Avengers. And placing Taskmaster in the film does quite feel like an amazing step, a smart way to make the story more intriguing because the story is connected to spies. And Taskmaster is one of them. But the problem is, the execution doesn't quite feel climactic, Taskmaster barely speaks throughout the entire film, so that adds no characterization for Taskmaster. We could have learned a lot of things about Taskmaster and make Taskmaster like a powerful villain or an intriguing villain that you must follow throughout the film. That's the first problem with this film. With that three subplots, the film is busy to wrap things up, wrap three of that subplots quickly in one film. And that is disappointing. And my third issue with the film is the film kind of feels like it was unnecessary. Why? Because Black Widow is already dead in Endgame, remember? So now we got a prequel. A prequel? So this is a timeline problem. This movie should have been made after Iron Man 2, where she was the first time introduced in that film. With that way, the film is impactful so that you can learn more about her. And that's the third issue. It's always entertaining to see Marvel creating an action film, and this time they are taking a different route. They are taking a spy thriller film. I like that aspect of the film. What I like also is the bond between Natasha and her sister, Yelena. Two of them felt related, and that adds an emotional aspect to the film. The film is surprisingly action-packed. And what can you expect from this film is that it is always entertaining. When you are placing this movie on a rating, for me, the rating for Black Widow is almost the same with Black Panther. They are always in the same state. They are explaining the origins of the characters. And my final issue with this film, every MCU elements, every MCU stories, every MCU steps to make a film intriguing is here. It's all here. It's suspenseful, it's full of action. There's nothing new in terms of the aspect of the film, but I guess that is kind of acceptable. Maybe they were just making this movie for fill in the gaps and tell us more about Black Widow. So the final rating for Black Widow is a 6 out of 10. I wasn't expecting a lot from this film. I just want a spy thriller movie to be good. And they nailed it. So, like I said, 6 out of 10 is the best score for this movie that I can give. So guys, tell me what you feel about Black Widow. Do you like it or not? And see you in the next video.